Mary, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and next year and a year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm coming back here and go to college and see what they know, and then I'm going to build things.
That, of course, a clip from It's a Wonderful Life, a classic holiday movie that's probably playing right now somewhere on your Fios dial. The film is considered a masterpiece now, but when it was released in 1946, some critics called it too sentimental and unrealistic. Same deal with a lot of other Christmas films. We love them now, but they weren't that well received when they came out. A list that includes Love Actually, A Christmas Story, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, just to name a few. Rich recently spoke with Michael Musto. He's a columnist for NewNowNext.com.
Tell me, please, Michael, you're not one of those who dump on It's a Wonderful Life, too. I mean, it's like I got to drag people kick and scream in my house to watch it with me, but it's an institution.
You would not be human if you didn't like that film. The appeal of the film is it appeals to the every man in America who thinks maybe I'm powerless or maybe my life has not been meaningful. What it's saying is it is meaningful. You've touched different people, you've touched various institutions. You might not be world famous, but you've accomplished a lot. And it's a very artfully done film. I think it didn't make it at first because it was maybe a little too arty, too real, too weird. But, you know, from repeated TV showings, just like A Christmas Story, another movie, it became part of our culture every Christmas season.
And I will say, at least for me, especially the darker the cycle, and God knows we're going to go into Christmas with Washington not exactly being inspirational, it shows there's a possibility of better angels. You mentioned A Christmas Story. On TBS, I think it is, it's going to be a loop for 24 hours. Nobody could have imagined that, Michael, when the thing first came out. But now I don't think there's a person who hasn't seen part, or if not the whole movie, at least once.
And the Broadway musical version, and I bet they'll make a movie of that. It's really developed a life of its own, and it is, like you say, from the repeat TV viewing. It's about 1940s simpler values. It's about a kid who wants a BB gun more than anything. It's a very simple kind of sweet film, and very well detailed, and the performances are terrific. It's become a Christmas classic, but Richard, some of these movies that the New York Times admitted we weren't on the bandwagon with at first, in an article they just wrote, are very dark movies, and I like those movies better. I like the movies that explore the dark side of the holiday. Because let's face it, Santa Claus is some stranger coming down your chimney, giving you things you usually don't want.
Well, we'll get into them a little bit, because one of them, Scrooged, they had some problem with Bill Murray in there. I think, you know, Murray certainly has a phenomenal film library, but he was hysterical in that movie. And you know, some people say, why you call it a Christmas movie? And it was set around that time, and I think there was a lot of those elements attached to it.
Well, it's based on A Christmas Carol. Hello.
Yeah.
You know, he's basically Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah, and Bill Murray is a great Ebenezer Scrooge. The problem is when Ebenezer melts and becomes all nice, you don't want to see Bill Murray being nice for that long. It gets a little icky, but it's still a pretty good film.
Well, you talk dark.
I like stuff like Bad Santa.
I was about
like
to say,
really dark stuff like Bad Santa.
That was dark. I mean, they went the full Monty on that one. There was no moral recovery at the end here. I mean, Billy Bob Thornton, you know, that was not schmaltzy.
To me, that's the ultimate Christmas classic, but also Black Christmas, which is a pretty terrible film, but it's a really dark movie about the slashing of sorority sisters with Margot Kidder. Black Christmas, look that one up.
I'll tell you one that there's a huge debate around, and that is Die Hard, whether it's a Christmas movie or not. And I think now it's considered such. I guess I'm in the minority. How the heck is that a Christmas movie?
It's set around Christmas time. It's all about Christmas.
That's a generous curve.
Yeah, it is. It's basically an action film, and it's an interracial friendship story, and it's all kinds of things. To me, it's not the kind of thing I want to snuggle up to the fireplace and watch.
This was another one I'm surprised. A lot of people say you couldn't put a gun to my head to watch it, and other people saying it's one of their favorites. Love Actually. Granted, at the end, it culminates in Christmas. You can't stand it, really.
Horrible, actually. Yes, I hated it when it came out. I actually thought it was overpraised back then, so I don't understand why they're saying now people have rallied around it. They were rallying around it back when it came out, and it's it's like Love American style British version, but really banal, and you know, just everyone falling in love with everyone. I wanted to spew chunks, and that's not my idea of Christmas.
The other one was a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Either you hate the entire National Lampoon franchise or this one for some reason, and I'm not the biggest fan of them, people love this one. They almost put it at the top of the list.
It's fun. I mean, look, if you don't like Chevy Chase, he's playing basically a moron, so how could you not enjoy that? And it's dumb humor, but it's funny humor. Look, this is not going to be up there with, you know, It's a Wonderful Life or Christmas Carol, but it's watchable.
Well, finally, other than on the classic side, It's a Wonderful Life, you mentioned Christmas Carol, would you say White Christmas, when they're making the short list in terms of the all-time Christmas movies, that's up there? What else would you put on the Mount Rushmore Christmas movies that we haven't mentioned?
Well, White Christmas was a follow-up to Holiday Inn, which is about an inn where they're going to celebrate each holiday with a number. White Christmas obviously was just about Christmas. I think it's a classic. It's a basically innocuous film. It's not a great musical, but it's sweet. It's fun. Check that out.
I will. And by the way, one more that I just want to have go away, but whether it's Broadway or remakes or whatever, The Grinch keeps coming back. Can you explain the appeal here? I'm begging for this to die its final death, but every year something new's coming out.
Well, the latest one with Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch, or the voice of the Grinch, is huge at the box office, so it's not going away. It's just about a creepy creature, really scary, the cute little girl, Cindy Lou who has a heart of gold deep down. And in one of the versions with Jim Carrey, you saw the backstory of how the Grinch got that way, which I thought was totally unnecessary. I don't really care. Yeah, I think it's worn out. It's worn out and it's diminishing returns, but people like the essential story. I mean, basically, he's Elvira Gulch.
Hey, and by the way, get ready for the musical Elf on a Shelf. I'm sure that's going to be coming sometime soon to the Great White Way. I kid, I hope.
God help me, God help me.
Michael, as always, my friend, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Have a great holiday.
And we'll be right back to wrap up RFL on this Christmas Eve right after this.